Hi, I'm Hub Arkus along with Associate Editor Kevin Fishbane as we give you the training camp opening report for the New York Jets. And Kevin, let's just assume the first week is all Tim Tebow 24/7. After that, what other veteran free agents and rookies are we going to be keeping a very close eye on?
Well, in the veteran category, it's going to be safeties. Moran Landry, Jeremiah Bell. They're expected to be the starting safeties if they're healthy, mainly with Landry. That's kind of a big question mark with him. If those two guys are healthy and play at a level that we saw a couple years ago, that's going to make a huge difference. And their top two draft picks, Quentin Coples and Stephen Hill, both of those guys could be starting day one. So training camp's going to be really big for those two.
You know, this team was just better than average last year. I think Jets fans expected something a lot more than a backup quarterback and special team player out of free agency.
Yeah, they probably did, and they rightfully should have, because this is a team that didn't make a lot of improvements last offseason, and it hurt them. And in this offseason, again, they don't do a whole lot, and that quarterback play is going to be a big question mark coming into the season because they didn't, just bringing in Tim Tebow, maybe it brings you the Wildcat, but how much does that really do to improve your offense?
Well, and so in training camp, the offense, it's all got to focus, I would guess, on Mark Sanchez and his receivers because the offensive line is pretty good.
Yeah, the O-line is the strength of that offense, so it's going to be finding that other receiver outside Santonio Holmes, although Holmes is far from a lock in terms of off the field for the Jets. So find that other guy, whether it's Chaz Jones or Stephen Hill. And I think the thing to keep an eye on with Tim Tebow is not so much how he plays as Wildcat, but how does his presence there affect Mark Sanchez? Is Sanchez able to just ignore the noise and keep playing and increase his level of play? And how does he work with Tony Sparano's offense? Because the hope for the Jets is that Sparano's offense is going to be the difference in making Sanchez a better quarterback.
You know, the fascinating thing about defense in the AFC East, the Patriots draft two kids in the first round. The Bills go get Mario Williams in free agency. Jets as well. Quentin Coples, I assume it starts up front with them.
Yeah, Coples and that defensive line is going to be huge. They need to get after the quarterback better. Aaron Maben actually showed some sparks last year getting after the quarterback, believe it or not. Buffalo Bills fans, cover your eyes. But Maben is the guy they're counting on in New York to help that pass rush, getting Calvin Pace back, Brian Thomas as well, and moving those guys around there with Muhammad Wilkerson. I think it's going to be key for that front seven to play better.
All right, so as we said, the Jets surprisingly quiet during free agency. No dramatic draft moves. What veterans have to improve for this club to take another step?
Well, there's a couple guys that I think the Jets are hoping and expect to make a big leap this year, and that's two of their draft picks from last year, Muhammad Wilkerson and Jeremy Curley. Rex Ryan, he raves about everyone, so it's kind of, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but Wilkerson had a very good rookie season, much better than people expected, and was very under the radar, and they expect even bigger things from him this season. Jeremy Curley is a guy, showed some spark out of the slot, and they're going to need a receiver to step up in that position, and I think Curley could be the guy.
Jets aren't really all that deep that we're worried about veterans on the roster bubble, but what about fighting for starting positions on the starting bubble, so to speak?
Yeah, once the Jets drafted Quentin Coples, that wasn't very good news for Mike DeVito. Whether they're using a three-man fronts or four-man fronts, he's not going to be playing as much maybe as he used to. Chaz Jones, the guy they brought in, and then they drafted Stephen Hill. So can Shillings live up to the size and skill that he has, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy? And Eric Smith, they really like what Eric Smith does from a leadership perspective, and he is good at certain things. Not covering Rob Gronkowski and things like that, but can Eric Smith, after they bring in two safeties, find ways to start for this Jets team?
And we finish where we started. I'm sure you'll all see a little bit of Tim Tebow in the Jets training camp too. For all 32 of our NFL team training camp opening reports, as well as all the news, notes, and analysis as it happens, stay right here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for ProFootballWeekly.com.